The Cure's new single, Alone. Why I'm not a fan, and why I'm caveating that with a yet. Bats, please. Welcome to ByCandlelight, beaming goth, dark wave and post-punk straight into your brain. If it causes a long-term condition, I may have the cure. Today I'm talking about Alone, the first single from The Cure's long-awaited 14th album, Songs of a Lost World. I wouldn't normally do whole episodes on one song, but this one's quite an event, isn't it? So let's just get this out the way. For me, this song is a bit meh. No, come back. I have caveated it, more on that later. I may be the only person in the world not feeling this song right now, and that's fine. Please do share with me your first impressions of this song. What I will say is that I so wanted to love it. I wanted to be crippled emotionally by it and for it to feel like a real event. I wanted it to make me excited about the new album. And whilst I still am and plan to do a full album review when it's out, it wasn't this first release that ignited the excitement. So you're probably thinking, Dan, just play it a few more times and you'll love it. No, I've done that already. So why am I not feeling it? Well, it wasn't immediately obvious. At first, I thought it was the length. Coming in at 6 minutes 50, it's not a short track, but Pictures of You is 7 minutes 28, and many Cure tracks run over the 5-minute mark. I then wondered if it was the slow pace. For a first single from a Cure album, this is definitely the most sedately paced. But the live vids on YouTube, that were around for a long time, clearly displayed a Disintegration-esque feel. So this set up the expectation of a slower record right from the outset. So it wasn't that either. Okay, last try for a reason. The long intro. So it takes 3 minutes and 21 seconds before Robert's vocals kick in. But the intro to The Kiss is 3 minutes 51. Plain Song is 2 minutes 38. Push is 2 minutes 23. The long Cure intro is no stranger to our temperate shores. Whilst I was trying to figure all this out, there were like tons of other reviewers wading in, saying this track is beautiful and that it made them cry. In other words, waves of positivity lapping the beach of Alone, to use the sea analogy once more. So what was it? What was wrong with me? Why wasn't I feeling it? Was I bad in a previous life? My curse to walk the earth, unable to hear alone like everyone else? Then I figured it out, and it's connected in a way to the long intro. You see, there's this section of the intro that begins at 33 seconds that just features these two chords, G major and F major. These chords are simplistic and they loop around. Don't get me wrong, those aren't the only chords in the song, but they do go round and round quite a few times. But it's not just that, it's the string sound. Having previously used string sounds that were obviously keyboard generated, such as the Selena string keyboard, they opted to use this more realistic emulation of strings. But it's not good, and to me it sounds like a demo. There are some amazing sample-based stringed instruments out there that sound like the real thing. This isn't one of them, and it feels a little bit thrown together. If the same chords had been played with a sound that wasn't trying to emulate an acoustic instrument, it wouldn't have stuck out. Even if they used that synthesized string sound of old, it would have improved things, in my opinion. I'd just say use real strings if that's the sound you're going for, but that's not the Cure's sound. They've always been about using the simpler sounds. Just listen to the keyboard part on Close to Me. I'll reiterate again that all this is just my opinion, and I am probably the only person in the world who thinks this. so don't hurt me, please. Saying all of that, let's move on to the caveats I hinted at earlier on. This song is the first new material the band have released since 2008. The weight of expectation has been unbearable. If it hadn't been for that tease from Robert Smith back in 2019, we probably just would have accepted The Cure as a purely touring band and left it at that. So with all that expectation and the extended hiatus, how could Alone possibly live up to all of that? Another point I have to remember is how many times have songs been released that make more sense on the album that they eventually find themselves on? When they have a context and they're surrounded by their siblings within a considered track listing, they can actually change your original opinion of them. So this is what I'm hoping for and why I added a yet into the video title. Although I also added in a question mark in case the yet doesn't come to anything. Stop laughing, Dan. It's no laughing matter. Anyway, what I will say about this track is that Robert Smith's voice is on point. All that touring has kept him on top of his game. That voice has not diminished one bit. So despite this first track, I'm still excited about the new album. They've played other new tracks live, such as And Nothing Is Forever, A Fragile Thing, I Can Never Say Goodbye, and the beautiful End Song. I'll leave a link to that vid in the usual place. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on this track. I know I'm in a minority, I'm not trying to change anyone's mind, but this is my first impression of this new track that we've waited for 16 years. I now need to run before someone sets fire to my home. Until next time,